Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Deen or Riwaj. This is a space where we talk about the difference between Islam and culture and how the two often get confused. Too often, things are labeled as Islamic when they're actually cultural. And too often, culture is defended so strongly that it gets mistaken for Deen. That confusion affects how people live, how families function, and how faith is practiced. This podcast exists to gently separate the two, not to shame, not to attack, and not to expose anyone, but to bring clarity, honesty, and understanding. There are so many conversations people want to have around the Deen and culture, but don't feel comfortable having out loud. Sometimes because of family, sometimes because of community expectations, and sometimes because questioning culture gets treated like questioning Islam itself. That silence can feel heavy, and it can leave people feeling confused, guilty, or feeling disconnected on their faith, when what they're actually struggling with isn't Islam at all. Deen or Riwaj was created to hold space for those conversations. This is an anonymous podcast on purpose, because honesty is easier when names are removed, when there's no fear of being judged, labeled, or misunderstood. Here, the focus isn't on who you are. It's on what you're experiencing, what you're questioning, and what you're trying to understand. Some episodes will be conversations, some will be stories submitted anonymously, some will be reflections on things many people think about but rarely say. The goal isn't to give perfect answers or to speak from a place of superiority. It's to explore and to learn, and also to distinguish between what Islam actually teaches and what culture has added over time. This podcast is for anyone who's ever wondered, is this Islam or is this culture? For anyone who's felt conflicted between faith and family expectations. For anyone who loves Islam but struggles with the way sometimes it's practiced or presented. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to have a dramatic story. You just need honesty. If you feel like you have something you want to share, a question, a situation, or a topic you want discussed, you'll have the option to submit it anonymously or to be featured anonymously. You stay in control of what you share. Your comfort and boundaries always come first. This first episode is simply an introduction, a way to let you know this space exists and what it stands for. Future episodes will go deeper into the conversations that matter, step by step with care and intention. And welcome to Deen or Riwaj. On this podcast, we'll explore the ways culture and Islam intersect, and sometimes it gets confused. Some of the topics we'll cover include mental health and therapy and how truly connecting with your Deen can support your overall well-being. Women's rights and Islam, and separating what is culture from what is divinely guided. How to guide fellow Muslims without judging and offering the right way with compassion. Black magic, sihr, and understanding where practices cross into shirk. Cultural expectations from males versus females and how these often don't align with Islam. How to raise children according to the Deen in a world full of cultural pressures. Celebrations, weddings, and traditions that aren't always a part of Islam. Hijab, modesty, and personal choice versus societal or family pressure. Doubts, spiritual struggles, and finding your path in faith. Practices often assumed to be Islamic, but actually it's cultural. And also navigating family expectations while staying true to your beliefs. Each episode will give you a space to reflect, learn, and understand where Islam and culture meet and where they diverge. Whether you're here to listen, learn, or share, this podcast is for you. If you have a story, question, or experience you'd like to share, we'd love to hear from you, and you can do so completely anonymously. Your experiences, your struggles, your questions, they can help others more than you realize. Many people face the same challenges, but they feel alone or unsure if what they're experiencing is normal or acceptable in Islam. By sharing your story, you can guide, inspire, and give reassurance to someone else on their own Islamic journey. You can also let us know if there's a particular topic you'd like us to discuss in relation to your story. A resubmission is treated with care, respect, and complete confidentiality. You can send your submissions by email at Deen or Riwaj@gmail.com, or you can DM us on Instagram or TikTok. Sharing your experiences doesn't just help others, but it also gives you a safe space to reflect, process, and contribute to a community that's learning and growing together. So whether it's a question, a challenge, or reflection, we invite you to share. Your voice matters, your experience matters, and it could make a real difference in someone else's journey with Islam. Thank you for listening to the first episode of Deen or Riwaj. We hope it's given you a space to reflect, think, and feel a little more confident navigating the differences between Islam and culture. Remember, your questions and your experiences and your stories are fully welcome here without any judgment. Sharing them anonymously can again help others and also guide your own journey. We look forward to exploring these conversations with you in future episodes. Until next time, stay thoughtful, stay sincere, and stay connected to your Deen. Assalamu alaikum.